Good morning, and welcome to another day of not knowing what is going to happen. We got like 3.5 mil there in like 5-10 minutes yesterday when we shut down. And then we were thinking, oh, well, we could probably get going yet today and finish that field. Because even if it's 18%, we'll just throw it in one of these little bins with air and flip it, deal with it, move it. If it's really bad, throw it in the dryer. But then it's been misting for the last hour. And it really doesn't look like it's going to get much better. So then we were thinking, well, maybe we have another field that really didn't get rained on yesterday, but with this mist, it doesn't look like it'll happen. Maybe a late start, which sucks, but there's a lot more rain in the forecast for this week, so if we can get something done, that would be good. But now we have a little bit of time to breathe, and that means we're going to do 100-hour fittings on both combines. We're fueling things up, and then we have a ton of little issues on the combines that we got to figure out. So probably be a day of just figuring things out and getting stuff ready for when we can go again. First thing this morning, I am putting my electrician hat on, which from what I hear about electricians should be pretty easy. No, you guys, I make jokes about the trades and unions and whatever, but hey, we all work hard, we all got to roll. Anyways, one of the aeration fans on this big bin stopped working on us, and we put tough oats in here, so we need to get it going again. I'm gonna see if I can figure out why. There's only really a few options, and then we'll know at least what we could do, whether it's replace it, warranty, fix it, we'll see. I am fairly good at electrical, but this took absolutely no skill. I opened up this box and this wire had I guess it wasn't put in well, maybe, and was kind of just sitting here, which that wire was wired from factory. All this stuff on this side was on installation, so I don't know why else that would get hot, but it was kind of just sitting here, so I don't know. We'll clean it up and put it back together and get it running. We got her hooked back up. Let's see if it runs, and then from there we'll keep investigating. Well, that's working now. That's interesting. So we got the fan running, which is good, and I'm gonna leave it running. Now we got the 2 fans going on that bin, but I'm not just gonna leave it at that. Like, I kind of feel like that wire just wasn't in far enough, and it was just arcing, creating heat, and then it just let go. But I want to make sure, so I know a few electricians. I'll make some calls, see if I can't come up with some actual answers from someone who's specialized in the trade. So now we are going to head out to the field, fuel things up, start going over stuff, and hopefully I don't get stuck. I can pretty much guarantee you that semi is stuck. So we'll unload the grain cart and bring the grain cart and tractor over here and just lightly pull it out, because that's our on-highway truck. It doesn't like fields on the best of days, and well, this isn't that. Now that it's officially a business day, I have a lot of calls to make. I need to order a turnbuckle for that, and the rest of our parts that we ordered pre-season are in at Enns Brothers. So we'll pick that up at John Deere, see where that part is. And then on these combines, I need to call about the reel speed issue Dad's having on his combine, and the fact that auto header height really isn't working on either combine. And while I'm on the phone with him, I'll probably ask about the tilt sensors, like the bands on these headers. Although I worked on those sensing bands for the auto header height last year, So I kind of know what I'm doing. You unplug it at the module. You still have to energize them because it's 5 volt. So it's 12 volt in and a ground, and then you got a 5 volt signal coming back to the module. So as long as it's energized, then you can lift and lower the bands, and you should see that voltage on the output, like the output wire, the signal wire, they call it. You'll see that voltage go from like 4.5 to half a volt, and that's when you know it's working. So if we get there, we'll do that today too. Lots of things. I just heard back from my father-in-law, who is a good electrician. I figured I'd start there. So let's see what he says about that fan. It's a bit misty out here, has been all morning, but I guess it's still a good day to do some tillage. So that tractor is almost completely empty. So we're gonna quickly fill them up, which is good. I need to lose some weight. 60-foot deep tiller on our 855A model tractor. And that thing's been working good, lots of power. We've been covering ground quick. He's right up behind us. This is that last outfield we had finished. So we're happy with it. I do like seeing my tractor at work. And our operator is very pleasantly happy with the tractor and cultivator setup this year compared to last year. Now that we got some rain, and it's kind of been misting on and off all morning, we are giving her on 100-hour fittings and just going over the machines well. We got 2 guys greasing, so we're making light work of it. Here's a little recap on what we've done. So far, we've harvested 2,300 acres. The last 4 days or 5 days were amazing. You know they're amazing because we burnt 9,000 liters of diesel, which is it's quite a bit. Good thing we ordered some. We're completely out now, so we will order again. And so we're gonna get things greased and serviced, gone over. Then we'll start looking at some of the major issues that we've been having up to this point. And some of you guys have been asking about what crops we grow. We do barley, wheat, oats, soybeans, sunflowers, and then corn and canola we're kind of in and out of based off the market, as well as we always try to do some perennial ryegrass, but they don't often take those perennial ryegrass fields with the kind of winters we have. But that's a little bit about it, and we're going to get back at it. So your 50-hour fittings, which I like to call your 10-hour fittings, you can get to all of them pretty much without taking any shields off, but when you start doing your 100 hours, you have to remove some shields. There's some plates on the auger you got to take off. You're going to be greasing your 4-wheel drive rear end, some track greasing. Yeah, I did notice on this machine, it's really easy to just look at all your tensioners and say, hey, we got some loose stuff. If you look at the auger, that big washer there should be butted up against that cylinder, and it's not. So we will tighten up this unload auger. And I think technically at 50 or 100 hours, you're supposed to tension your clean grain elevator as well, which is on a hydraulic swing. Easy to do. We'll get that done as well. When it comes to greasing, I'd say one of the most neglected grease points is the rotor shafts. If you look up there, there's a hole in the bottom there and there. Definitely hit those with grease. They need them. And I think they're 100-hour fittings. I'm not sure, but they're getting greased today. We definitely needed this rain delay. And I mean, obviously, if it didn't rain, we would have kept combining and it wouldn't have stopped us because there's not big issues, but it's been good to go over things. Dad had 1 broken finger on his auger. I think I've got like 3 or 4. I got a couple knives I need to change. I see Dad has a guard that needs to be changed. There's just lots to go over. We did the 100 hours now, so now I'm going to start working on the bigger issues. I'm going to call Ag West, and in my experience, if you're having a problem with someone's piece of equipment, like you own it, but it's John Deere or it's Claws or whatever, call your dealer, see if they have a technical communicator or a service technician or someone who will speak with you on the phone about your problem. A lot of you are asking, well, how do I know these things or whatever? That's what I do. I don't need to be the smartest. I just need to know someone who is. So I am always calling them. Murray is fantastic. He is the guy at Ag West. So I'm going to give him a call, talk to him about my real module, or not real module, but our real problems. And I think I got a couple other questions for him, but call service. Talk to someone if you got an issue. More than likely, you're spending money at the dealership anyways. They will help you. And that helps you as well, because you're not spending money on getting a tech out when it might be an easy problem, you just didn't know where to look. So keep chipping away. I'm feeling good that we can get some of these big things done. We are going to quickly tension our elevator. So there's just this hydraulic. You open up that valve, then you engage your thrashing body, and it will put oil into the cylinder on your clean grain elevator and tension the chain properly. You just close that valve after you shut it off and you're good to go. Look at that. You love to see it. My numbers aren't bouncing around anymore. That's perfect. So I was telling you guys that other video when I was setting my combine for wheat that if your sieve numbers start bouncing around, it's this wire or this wire, depending if it's the bottom sieve number jumping around or the top one. This wire shakes back and forth all day, every day, and eventually they just get worn out. So I had one in my toolbox. I haven't changed it, and I didn't for a while because it wasn't bothering me, but it's been really bad lately. So I figured we'd throw that one on. I will, however, keep this one because in a pinch, if your module goes down, or, you know, we've had situations where we can't adjust one of the sieves, but the other one will still adjust. Then you hook this wire up to the end of where that other wire is, and then you can plug, say, your bottom sieve module, which plugs in here with this wire on it. You can plug it in here and then adjust it with your upper sieve adjustment and at least keep going. So I don't know. It was just one of the things I figured might as well get these things in really good shape. We've gone over a lot. Everything has been greased. 100 hours here, fully greased the grain cart, changed the knife, 4 fingers. We've done a lot. So hopefully next time we get in the field, we can just roll nicely. Now I am working on my header issues for these wands. I just realized that one of the springs that returns this down to the down position is broken over there. So I got to order one of those. And I think Dad needs a new sensor for one of his, and I actually have that in my toolbox as well. I ordered it last year. I haven't heard back from the dealer yet about my real issue on Dad's combine yet, but I don't think with this constant misting we'll be combining tomorrow either, so I'm sure I'll have more time tomorrow to work on this stuff as well. Someone asked about hobbies. So what do I like to do in my free time? Well, I love shooting. I love going hunting. One of my favorite things to do is go out to Cypress River, where my wife's family has a farm, and shoot gophers. The gophers there are unreal. I can blast like 30, 40 a day. They love it. I love it. I've got a 22, which is really good, but my favorite gun is I've got a 25 caliber bolt action pellet gun. You fill it up with compressed air, you get like 30, 40 shots out of it. That thing is awesome, quiet, accurate, so good, and it doesn't bother anyone. Cows don't even know I'm shooting. So I love shooting. I love working on things. So if I've got equipment, like I'll just go out in the evening and just tinker around, fix, work on stuff. I enjoy that. Me and my brother have a 2000 BMW 328 Ci race car. So we like going to the road course in Gimli and racing. We haven't done that in a couple years though, because life gets busy, right? I mean, I love hanging out with my family, but that's not a hobby. That's just something that I get to do, which I'm really appreciative of. Other than that, I mean, I like playing like video games and stuff, but don't have much time to do that these days. Yeah. Shooting, racing, and working on things. Making improvements, modifying, building things, that sort of stuff. Let's talk a little bit more about our setup. 595Rs, the corresponding header for that would be an F540, which are terrible. Only thing I've heard about them is bad. So these are 1200 Max Flex headers that are for the newer 700 series, which would be a 2011 to 2019 combine. Thankfully, both these combines that we bought, when we bought them, they had the upgraded module and hydraulics installed. So we can run them without having to mess with anything. If you do have a 500 series combine, you can run a 1200 without the module. But then, depending what you want to do, if you want to use the sensing bands or the outer edges for flex, you have to change some sensors around. The dealers have that information if you need it. But these 1200 Max Flexes are really quite good. And I mean, this is a $20,000 header versus a $70,000 or $80,000 cheap Macdon FD75. And I would be willing to bet that this flex header does a better job in beans, shaving the ground and getting all the beans than a Macdon would. So yeah, I would love one, but I don't think the benefit is there for the cost you would have to pay. So that's why we have two 1200 Max Flexes on the front of our 595s. 595s, mine is a bit better option than Dad's. A big thing is get the long auger. Just get it. Yes, you can use a shorter auger with a 40 foot, but then you have that stupid long spout. Your grain cart's really close to the header, and that spout hits absolutely everything because it's so long. As well as I think the HP feeder house is a pretty important thing to have, because then you get that turnbuckle up top, which allows you to angle your header. You could shave the ground better, or you could tilt it back if you're dealing with like lodged wheat or something, so that the knives aren't digging into the ground, but you can still get really low. It's kind of the main thing. That's our equipment. I think I'm going to be done in here now for today. It's just constantly raining. I'm pretty wet. I am going to take the fuel trailer, park it in my shop. It needs like full restock. We ran out of grease tubes today. I need to top up the oils again, put more rags in it. When you're busy, you don't do that, but I got time now, so I will do that. I also need to pick up gas for the MiG because we ran out on the weekend. So a few things like that. Wasn't full of action today, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed it. And I enjoy your comments. It's fun. Keep going. Anyways, guys, you have a good one. Hopefully weather clears up, and we'll see you on the next one. You know what? Here's a little bit of bonus content for you. This is my oil change rack station that I built, and I really like it, and here's kind of how it's set up. Don't mind the mess. We're mid-harvest. Things don't necessarily get put away all the time. But anyway, so we got our hydraulic oil in that tote. We got our engine oil in that tote, waste oil in the middle. You can fill your jugs out of that main valve right there, super quick. I love that, no pumping. And then in the middle, I got this drain area with a couple pegs that you can, put whatever you want on, that'll drip dry out. That all drains into this waste oil tote here. And then I got this top rack just so you could put stuff up here, whatever. I built it so it was tall enough that you could put 20-liter pails underneath. So I got like pails on this side, and then I got my wood for blocking on that side. But I really like it. I think it's been awesome, and it's made doing oil changes way better. And now I love doing any oil changes I can at my place instead of the main yard, because this speeds everything up.